It's August 1st, 2023, and I've got 3 free best bets for you. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to grow our bankrolls together and get to the bag. We ended off the month of July. We did have a great month on the channel, another month down, and I'm so happy because it's August, which means that football is around the corner. I'm so ready for college football. I'm tired of just betting on baseball, and we have so many new games and opportunities and teams that are coming our way. So just trying to keep our bankrolls alive until that time comes where we can start going crazy again. We didn't end off July the way that we wanted to. Went 1 and 2 of the day. We did cash in our 2-leg hitter parlay. Those have been cash money for us all month. We did lose on the Phillies and Marlins nerfy, and then the Brewers did let us down on the 2-leg parlay as the Astros got it done, but the Brewers did not get it done there. So tough to see that there. You can see our year-to-date record right here. You can see our July record. Ended off the month at a 60% hit rate. You can't beat that. Listen, 60%, if you do that every single month, I promise you, you're going to be a very profitable handicapper. You're going to make a lot of money. So our goal is to keep that momentum going again today. As always, if you could drop a big thumbs up on this video, I'd greatly appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel so this way you can stay up to date on all the latest videos that we're dropping, and this way you can stay up to date on some of our updates that are going to be coming with the college football season right around the corner. So let's dive into our first best bet of the day. For my first best bet of the day, I'm going with a money line pick here, and I'm taking the Rays on the money line, -110 value on FanDuel. And in this matchup, we have got Zach Eflin on the mound for the Rays and Carlos Rodon going on for the Yankees. And I really just can't back the Yankees here. Today is the MLB trade deadline, and I feel like the Yankees have to make some moves if they expect to make a playoff push. I read a stat yesterday that said they're like the last in the division for the first time since like 1995 or 99 or something like that. That's pretty crazy at this such a late stage in the season for to see the Yankees struggle like this. Their pitching has been inconsistent, their offense has been non-existent, so it's just really tough to see. And I think the Yankees are going to make a move today, so because of that, I don't know if all the players are going to be available. I don't know who's going to be traded. I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't think they're going to have their full roster. I'm just not a fan of Rodon here at all for the Yankees. Besides his last start against the Mets where he did go 5 2/3 innings and he gave up 1 earned run, the game ended up being a win for the Yankees, a 3-1 win. Rodon struggled in his 2 previous starts before that. He gave up 6 earned runs to the Angels in 4 1/3 innings, including 2 home runs. Then he gave up another 4 earned runs to the Rockies, including another home run in the game before that. So we've seen him give up a lot of sharp contact. He even gave a ton of sharp contact in that Mets win as well. It just so happened that those balls were hit right to Yankees outfielders and infielders, so it kind of worked out in his favor. But we've seen what happens when he's giving up that sharp contact and it's not working out in his favor. He gives up a ton of contact. He gives up a ton of home runs, and I just don't think that's a good matchup against a Rays offense that can turn it up at any time. Yes, the Rays offense has regressed a little bit over the past month or so. They're not the high-flying offense that we've used to seeing, but I do think that most of their struggles have come in the pitching department, not as much on their offensive side. I don't see how the Yankees are going to outscore the Rays here, especially if Eflin is locked in or Rodon is giving up a lot of runs. Now, I will admit, Zach Eflin is not my favorite pitcher to back in the Rays lineup. I do think there's a good opportunity for him, like I mentioned, because of the trade deadline and all the injuries that the Yankees have had and the struggles that they've had on offense. And I think it's a good bounce spot. He's coming off of a rough start in his last matchup. He gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs in 4 innings against the Marlins. But in his start before that, he went 7 innings against the Orioles and only gave up 2 hits and 0 earned runs. Now, the Orioles have been one of the hottest teams in all of baseball over the past month, and to see him be able to shut them out over 7 innings and only give up 2 hits in that matchup screams out to me that, he does have the stuff that he needs when he wants to lock in and get in a zone. He has been a stronger pitcher at home than on the road, so that is another point of concern for me, but I do think that Eflin can get it done here because the biggest opportunity that I'm looking at in this matchup is just the hard contact and the free base runners. Rodon gives up a lot of walks. He's had at least 2 walks in each of his last 4 starts, while Eflin does not give up a ton of walks. He strikes out a lot of guys, but does not give up a lot of walks. He's had 1 or less walk in each of his last 5 games. So because of that, the Yankees are not going to get a lot of free base runners. Their offense is not at the best. We don't even know if they're going to have all their guys in the lineup. And Rodon has shown that he can give up a lot of sharp contact. Give me the Rays on the money line. We're getting -110 odds here, which is really good value for the Rays in this matchup. You can't beat that today. So give me the Rays on the money line as the first best bet of the day. Now, for the second best bet of the day, we're going with a 2-leg parlay here. And I'm taking the Orioles on the run line +1.5. And I'm taking the Marlins and Phillies over 6. So I'm taking 2 tease down lines here. The run line for the Orioles at +1.5, and the Marlins and the Phillies tease down the over 6 there. Parlay those two together, you're going to get to about +115 odds or so. Now let's dive into that first Orioles game. Like I mentioned, they're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. They made us a ton of money this year, especially here on the channel, and there's no exception for today because I think they're getting really good value. You can get them at plus money on the money line, and I really like that. But you know what? Let's go with the safer bet, and that's just them on the run line, and they're sending Kyle Bradish to the mound, and we backed him in his last start against the Phillies, and that actually hurt us because he struggled in that matchup. He went 6 and 2 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, but before that start, he went 7 straight games giving up 2 earned runs or less. I thought last week when we took him in the channel that he was going to be able to, keep that momentum going. The Phillies were able to get to him in the first 5, but I do think today is a really good opportunity for the Orioles because the Jays are sending Yuhan Ryu to the mound, and the left-handed Korean is coming off a 60-day injury list, and he hasn't pitched since June the 1st. So this is really a tough lineup to come back to when you haven't pitched in almost 2 months. Now you have to come to the hottest lineup in baseball that hits you every type of way. They can hit home runs, they can hit singles and doubles, they take a lot of walks, and that's just a tough matchup for Ryu. And I just don't like the fact that that he has to face this Orioles lineup here, and he has a 5.67 ERA on the year. He was pitching better right before the injury, but I just think this is a bad situation spot for him. So because of that, I don't need the Orioles to win this game. Just don't lose by more than 2 runs, and we should be all right to get it done. Although I do think they will win on the money line. So give me the Orioles on the run line as the first best bet in the parlay. And then the second leg of the parlay, we're going with the Marlins and Phillies over. And I will say that I really love the Marlins in this spot, but I just cannot get all the way there with Sandy Alcantara. Like, the Marlins have been playing better. Alcantara has been pitching better. We saw him go that complete game shutout last matchup, but I just can't get there with him because he's been so inconsistent. I just can't trust him just yet. Maybe in this start I can get there if he does well. One thing I do think that is going to happen in this matchup, though, is runs are going to be scored. Ranger Suarez, he's gone back-to-back starts for the Phillies, giving up 4 earned runs in both of those starts. He also faced the Marlins on the road back on July the 8th last month. He gave up 8 hits in that matchup, 4 runs, 1 home run in 5 2/3 innings. So that's really tough to back when you're facing the same lineup literally within the next month. And then the Marlins have been swinging the bat a lot better over the past month or so. And then, like I said, Alcantara, I'm just not all the way trusting him just yet. He has a 4.48 ERA at home, and the Marlins are 1 and 4 on the money line in those starts. So it's tough for me to say that the Marlins are going to win this matchup. He did face the Phillies back on July the 7th, so the day before Suarez faced them. He went 6 2/3 innings in that matchup, gave up 8 hits and 1 earned run on 1 home run, but the Marlins still lost that game 4-3. So Suarez, he lost that game against the Marlins 5-3. Alcantara lost to the Phillies 4-3. Both of those games would have gone over the 6 total that I have set here. So I think this total at 7.5 is fair, but I do think that these teams will go over today, as I'm not trusting the starting pitchers in this matchup. So give me the Marlins and Phillies over 6 runs, parlaying that with the Orioles run line at +1.5. You're going to get to +115 odds on that right there. Really good value as the second best bet of the day. For my third and final best bet of the day, you know where I'm going. I'm going with a 2-leg hitter parlay, and I'm taking Julio Rodriguez to get 1 hit, Jose Ramirez to get 1 hit. Parlay those together, you get to +106 odds on FanDuel. You really can't beat it. 2 guys who've been swinging the bat really, really well. I was scared to take Jose Ramirez because for some reason, every time I take this guy, he doesn't show up, but he's been swinging the bat really well. He's got at least 1 hit in 18 of the last 22 games, and at least 1 hit in 18 of his last 23 away games as well. So I love to see that. You guys know I love to back batters who are in a great form. He's batting .357 over the last 7 games, so you can't beat that. And he's also batting .500 or 5 for 10. He's faced Framber Valdez for the Astros 10 times, and he's been able to get 5 hits off of him and 1 home run in those opportunities. So because of that, I love to see that. I think Ramirez should be able to get us 1 hit today. I do believe Ramirez should be able to get us 1 hit today for the first leg of the parlay. Now in the second leg of the parlay, we got Julio Rodriguez, who's currently on a 9-game hit streak himself. He's batting .333 over the last 7 games. You love to see that. He has at least 1 hit in 20 of the last 25 matchups, and he's gotten at least 5 at-bats in 6 of the last 8 games. So he's getting a ton of plate appearances, and the volume's there. He's cashing in. They're playing at home, and they're also facing Brian Bello for the Red Sox. He does not strike out a lot of guys. He's a pitch-to-contact guy. So because of that, I like the fact that Julio Rodriguez should be able to get a favorable pitching matchup today, and you might want to sprinkle some on his home run parlay, as Brian Bello has been giving up a lot of home runs lately. I think he gave up 7 home runs in the month of July. So because of that, giving a lot of sharp contact, Julio Rodriguez should be the guy in that lineup who can get something done. 9-game hit streak right there. You parlay both of those guys to get 1 hit, get to plus 106 odds as the final and best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. Looking to get this month of August started off right. We're going to start over our $500 challenge. We started it last month, but the All-Star break being off for like a week kind of threw off the numbers and everything. So I'm going to start that challenge back again today. So if you want to be a part of that challenge, make sure you click the link on the bio in the Telegram group. So this way you guys can see every pick that I'm taking during the challenge. Several of these picks are going to be there as well. You'll get my exact unit sizes that I'm putting on each one of these plays. So this way you can see how I'm growing a bankroll, especially from a smaller size like a $500 account. So make sure you click the link in the Telegram group so you can stay up to date on that challenge and all the other picks that I'm dropping. As always, I can't wait to see the money that you make, and let's get after that bread today. Dictate your fate. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's start off this month strong. Later, guys.